What's up guys, my name is Bryan Brady.
And I'm Casey Kaufhold.
We're with Lancaster Archery Supply, and today we wanted to do a brief video introducing the idea of stretching during your practices. You're going to want to do that before and after you shoot, and that's going to help you not only shoot a little bit more effectively, but it's going to prevent injury as well.
Throughout competing and working with different coaches and sports meds, these are just some of the stretches that I've learned to stay safe while shooting and just get limbered up and ready before competition.
So we're going to start things off today with looking at some different kind of moving stretches that you might be able to do to begin a practice before you ever pick up your bow. And one of the ones that I always like doing is, of course, arm circles. And you can do different kinds of arm circles depending what you want, depending on if you have your hands flat like this, up like this, up like this, what direction you're bringing your arms, how long you do it, how big or how small you make those circles. All of that is really personal preference. We want to make sure that the motions are not too wild, but that they're big enough that we get our arms and our shoulders moving.
Another stretch that I like to do, I call the Michael Phelps, because this is what he does before every time he swims. So you kind of just go back and forth in front of yourself, and that just stretches your arm muscles and chest muscles, and it kind of mimics like the way and the motion that your arms will move while you shoot, so it just gets those muscles ready to go.
And another great stretch that I've always liked is going to be just bringing your arms back and forward like this, enough that you can kind of feel those shoulder blades shifting around a little bit. And similarly to those arm circles, you can have your hands up, back, forward. It's really whatever you would prefer. You could just add some kind of combination in there. And I would say on all of these, do it for at least 10 repetitions, before you move on to your next exercise. That way it's enough that you can actually get things warmed up. I found that by making sure that you do a series of stretches before you shoot that are all moving and dynamic like this, you can cut down drastically the amount of time that it takes for you to get in your groove when you're shooting. Instead of it taking 4, 5, 6, or even more ends to get warmed up and ready, you can cut that down to one end or even just a couple of arrows. Now, something else that you should be doing after your practice is doing some static stretches. Similarly to after you run, you're going to want to be stretching after you run. You've just done a whole bunch of physical exertion from shooting your bow. So we're going to want to make sure to stretch things out afterwards as well. And a great stretch for that is just bringing your arm across your chest, pulling it on into yourself. When you're doing any kind of static stretch like this, you want to make sure to hold that position for at least 20 seconds for it to be effective. If you're only holding it for 5 or 10 seconds, it's just not going to really do its job. Now, Casey, what's another one of these static stretches that you like to do?
A static stretch that I like is to stretch out my wrists. You use them a lot with bow hand and the draw hand, so I like to stretch them up, hold that for however long you need to, stretch down. And then the same thing with the other wrist. That just prevents injury of the muscles, tendons, and ligaments in there. Make sure they're staying stretched out and healthy.
Perfect. And another great stretch that you can do, because this is going to be good for your back and everything else, is just going to be a basic toe touch. Go on down, come as far on down, see if you can touch the floor or your toes. Challenge your friends, see how far down they're going to be able to get, and if you can get further, then of course make fun of them. But like any of these other stretches, make sure to hold it for at least 20 seconds. No bouncing trying to get all the way down to your toes. That can actually make it hurt worse. Before
and after I shoot every day, these are the stretches I do to prepare and end my practice.
There's a lot of other exercises out there that you could do, so long as you're warming yourself up somehow and cooling down somehow from your practice, it's going to be more effective. So feel free to mix and match to your own preference. One disclaimer, of course, that we should put out there is that, of course, neither Casey nor myself are trained medical professionals. We're not physical therapists. We're just competitors like you who are on the tournament field, and here's some of the knowledge that we have picked up over the years of competing. Guys, I hope you liked this video. If you did, give us a like and then hit that bell to subscribe. That way, if we drop any more videos, you'll be notified. If you have any questions or you would like to talk to us, please drop us a line at lancasterarchery.com.